Chef Price, thank you so much for coming in today.
No problem.
All right. So today you are representing the Food Agriculture Career Cluster. Can you tell us a little bit about the career field in general?
The career of culinary arts.
Yes.
I would say it's it's definitely one that's never going to go away because everybody has to eat. So some come and go, and there's new tech jobs popping up all the time, but people are always hungry. So if you get a job as a cook, you'll probably always have some job security because of that.
What kind of jobs are available?
There's all kinds. You can work fast food, you can work in a hotel, you can work as a caterer, or just a normal restaurant. And there's all different kinds of restaurants. There's some that are more casual, like Applebee's, or more upscale, like you'll find in the city. So there's really no limit. You can work for yourself, you can work for other people, all kinds of stuff.
What would you say being in the career field is like?
I would say it's demanding. Like you never know how many hours you're going to work in a week. So you could plan on just working 40 hours, and then something comes up. Somebody gets sick, and you have to cover for somebody else, and you could end up working 60 or 70 hours. So it's not atypical for a typical shift to be 10 to 12 hours. Most normal people work 8 hours. So in restaurants, it's not uncommon for that to happen. So I would say be prepared to work a lot.
What is your favorite part of being in the career field?
I would just say the main thing is kind of a little bit of everything. It's fun to prepare the food, but it's also the camaraderie you have with your fellow cooks or other people in the restaurant, it just seems like time goes faster when you're busy. So you're always busy if you're in a successful place, definitely.
Is it competitive?
It can be, yeah. It depends on the location, but trying to get a job, if it's a high demand job, it could be competitive. Going up against other people, you might have to cook for the people that you're interviewing for, which I've had to do on a few jobs. Others, once you get in the restaurant, maybe you have some people you're competing for the same position. Like maybe you're just a cook and you're up for promotion, so the chef could be looking at you as a candidate. So you have to be up above your peers in that facet.
How do you how do you get above your peers?
I would say just kind of like what I said, like just kind of being better. Like you never miss a day. Work whenever they ask you to. Like even if you've already worked 5 days or 6 days, if they ask you to come in for a 7th day, basically you just never say no. That's how I kind of got to the position that I've been in restaurants. I didn't know the word no when it came to will you do this or do that, and also something should be in your vocabulary is not my job. So that's something people don't like to hear. You just do what you're asked, and you can go above and beyond that, and that's how you get to the next level.
What exactly is your job?
My job right now is as a culinary instructor. So I kind of get the full array of students. I have some that have cooked before, and some that have never cooked, and some that may never cook again. This could just be like a chance for them to cook just here in school. But my goal for everybody is just to have a life skill. Everybody needs to eat. Everybody wants to save some money, save some time. So I just show them some skills to get that. And then some want to go beyond that, and I talk to them individually about a career in a restaurant or other part of the hospitality industry.
What are the main roles of being a chef in a upscale restaurant?
In an upscale restaurant, I would say that you're doing when you get to the top level executive chef. The more levels you get up, there's a typical restaurant there might be a sous chef, there might be a chef above that, usually called the chef de partie or chef de cuisine. So those roles you're cooking a little bit more, but when you get up to the top executive chef, mostly what you're doing is managing people. So you're doing a lot of spreadsheets about recipes, so you're costing things out. You're looking at labor, so you want to make sure that you're saving your company money when you're putting together a schedule and staffing the restaurant. So the higher you get up in most restaurants, the less actual cooking you're doing. So it could be a little less fun for those of you that just are out to cook.
Why did you choose to join this career?
I chose to teach because my wife and I wanted to have a family, and that's a very difficult thing to have in a restaurant lifestyle because, like I said, you're working 6, sometimes 7 days a week, really long hours, so it doesn't leave much time for home life. So I kind of chose teaching for the more convenient hours and having my evenings off for my family.
As far as education goes, what kind of qualifications do you need to be successful?
I would say it depends on the individual. So some people, like myself, I did go to a culinary school, but I studied a lot beyond that. So culinary schools are just going to teach you the basics. So it's kind of up to you to seek out the knowledge beyond that. And that's what I did. I read a lot of books. I tried different recipes. So some people are better at just having book knowledge, and other people are better at doing hands-on stuff. I mean, I encourage both. But a lot of it is up to you. You have to kind of push yourself beyond what's taught in the classroom.
Does being in the classroom make you more competitive in the job market?
I don't know if that has a factor on it. I mean, it's a natural thing in a school to be competitive with the person next to you, so it might, but it would probably depend on the individual again.
Do businesses prefer whenever
I would say it depends on the business once again. So some chefs, are old school. They just work their way up to the position, and they think everybody should do that. Others think that you need a degree, but that all the degree does really is get your foot in the door. So you still have to perform once you get there. So.
How much did your education cost?
Way too much. I went to a school that's is no longer in business because of they made promises that you'll be a chef when you left there, and of course that's something you can deliver. So the school is called Le Cordon Bleu, and they had a bunch of schools in North America. Still have some outside of North America, but they're owned by a corporation. The students in the schools had the highest default among student loan rates. So once they got in the field, they couldn't afford to make their payments. So yeah, I can't remember how much it is. I don't want to even think about it, but it was a lot of money.
What should individuals that want to go into the career field look for whenever they're deciding where to work?
Where to work, I would say the best thing to do is just go in and work a shift. So I mean that's you can look from the outside all you want, but it really takes you getting inside of there. So a lot of cooks in the city do things that are called stages. So that's basically an unpaid shift, but you kind of get a feel of what your coworkers are like, what the food is like. You don't get paid, but I think it's very beneficial for both sides. The chef gets to see if you're a good fit, and you can see if you're a good fit for the restaurant.
What steps did you take to get into this career?
I kind of came out about this career just for money, first of all. So when I was in college, I was studying to be an art teacher, and I got a job as a dishwasher, and then they asked if I wanted to cook, and I was like, well, it pays more. I'm like, well, yeah. So I was like, okay, well, I'd like more money. So I started cooking, and I found out that I really loved it. So that's kind of how I kind of got into it, almost by accident. Just money at first, and then find out it was something that I really loved.
What can you do to be the most successful in your attempts at becoming a chef?
So, some things that the chefs look for, besides hard work, which is probably one of the biggest things, hard work, always being available, is just the way you work too. So you want to work smart, so not take empty trips to the kitchen, always have a sense of urgency, so you're always working like it's going to be really busy even though it's going to be slow. That way if something goes wrong, you still have time to go back and correct it. Attention to detail is a big thing, so it'll set you apart from other people, not in just being a chef, but in other careers. Like if you can pick out those little details above everybody else and perform that task better, you'll definitely succeed more than the average person.
Are there any last tips or any additional information that you want to give hopeful chefs?
No, just let everybody know it's not like it is on TV. You know, it is. You know, sometimes it's definitely always hot. It's always, you leave there sometimes very, very tired, and then you have to wake up really early the next day. So it's a grind, definitely. So it's something. It's not just you know, throwing stuff around and making fire, and there's a lot of steps, a lot of hard work that goes into being a chef, and low pay at first too. You don't really make much money until you get some experience and get those titles, or even work for different types of restaurants.